What's up, guys? Welcome to the Rad Trash Fox podcast. Today we're going to talk about Corpse. If you haven't heard about them, you're about to. But before we jump into that, I really want to say, if you can share this with people, it would be really nice. Because Spotify doesn't do great at sharing the podcasts. YouTube doesn't really like me for some reason. And yeah, if you can share this around and possibly help me grow, it would be highly appreciated. Or if nothing else, you just listen and think it's a good podcast, that helps too, because then you'll probably tell your friend or your girlfriend or your mom or your dad or someone who might give a shit about it. So yeah, thank you. And before we jump in as well, we're going to have a word from our sponsor, and then we're going to jump into this podcast. I'm really excited today to talk about this. It's been a while since an artist jumped out at me. But like I say, word from our sponsor, then we'll be into it. And welcome back, guys. Listen, I have to say this right away. This dude is killer. If you have not checked out Corpse, you're missing out. Really good artist. I think he's going to go places. I've only heard like 3 songs. I think that's really all that he's put out that's easy to find right now. But yeah, dude's really good. And I kind of want to look at like the marketing side of him more than anything in this podcast. I'm sure there's people who listen that's into marketing, into like how to do shit and all this. And this is just from an outside view. And it's like, all marketing is grinding. All marketing is fucking like working your ass off, trying to get people interested in what you're doing. That's what also this podcast is. So yeah, I kind of understand what the dude's doing, but I'm at a lower level than him. But I feel talking about him and looking at what he's done may help me as well as help you guys in whatever your endeavor is. Because that, to me, is an important part of whether this podcast goes as big as Joe Rogan or whatever. That's still going to always be a central thing, is this is a journey together, guys. This is us helping each other get to where we're trying to be. And I think it's really good that we're going to take and work on this together, hopefully. And hopefully, from what I share with you, it helps a lot. So let's jump into this about Corpse. As far as I know, Corpse started out as Corpse Husband, a YouTube channel. He did the creepypasta readings. People seem to really like it. The viewership with that has gone way up over the past couple of years. So I guess in seeing that, he said, okay, people like this and like it for my voice. Because dude has a slick, clean, very deep, romantic kind of voice. So he seen that and was like, okay, well, I want to rap or whatever this like emo rock rap stuff is. He chose to go about that route. And the dude had an awesome, awesome way of doing it because he's never showed his face. Thus, there's mystery behind it. It's the same as like Slipknot, Ghost, Gore, all those kind of people. Whenever they started, you didn't know who was behind the mask. Thus, you wanted to hear what they would do next. You wanted to see what they would do next. He has made a perfect wheelhouse for that. But let's back it up a little bit. Let's back it up to him still doing videos on YouTube. The dude grinded. He seems like he did almost daily to weekly videos, which is awesome. Like, dude wheelhoused these out as much as he could. And I guess seeing that following grow and grow, because he grew pretty decently quick, he decided, okay, I'm going to do the rap thing. So he did it, and he's done 3 songs that I can easily find. I'm sure there's a whole hell of a lot more to come, as well as probably a few more I could not find. But out of them, the ones that I think really stand out is Miss You and E-Girls Are Ruining My Life. The first one I'm not 100% if I'm right on, but the second one I know I'm right on the name. Regardless, both of those songs, really good songs. You could easily put a guitar riff over it, add add like some backing vocals and stuff and have a really amazing like rock song, which is really smart to do nowadays because a lot of like pop punk and metal and stuff have gotten to where they do mostly covers of bigger songs. So if you do that and they start covering it, you're going to get more publicity, man. Like, and that's a really smart wheelhouse to do if you're not trying to be that kind of band, you know? You know, if you're trying to be a solo artist, you make a song good enough that they want to cover it, you've done something. Like, because they're kind of picky on that, and I don't blame them. You don't want to do a cover of some crap song. I can't really think of many artists that I don't dislike pop-wise. Just whatever Kanye's worst song is, think of it. And but yeah, guys, so if you can produce really good music, which he has, he's shown that he can do that, and I think that is going to help him a lot, as well as the mystery factor. The mystery factor in not knowing who he is, but knowing his voice is going to help him. And you may be thinking to yourself, well, that's good for him, but how does this help me? This helps you by knowing that you have to find the factor, the thing that's going to make people want to listen to you, the thing that's going to make people want to see what you're trying to sell them, whether it's music, shirts, anything. Like, all of it takes that. So, yeah. Find your like factor, whether it's using Instagram, doing funny photos, whatever, find it and use it to get where you're trying to get. And that's like the main thing that he has found is his like factor, is that. I mean, the dude, people are dying to see his face so much. He posted a video or a picture of him holding a blue eyes white dragon, and it got like a shit ton of likes and comments and views, and they all just know him by that hand now. And it's fucking dope. Like, he's smart at it. He's taking and slowly working to where he can build a heavy career out of what he's doing. And I say more power to him. I mean, he did the Among Us thing with like PewDiePie and all these other YouTubers. He's got like a lot of like these community women that people are big on, like simping for him and stuff. The dude's doing good for himself. So yeah, you're probably wondering, well, how do I get there? Well, most likely you're not going to reach that level, but if you do, good job. You found your it factor and ran it as hard as you could. But if you're not sure what your it factor is, just experiment. Like, I'm experimenting here. I don't know what of these podcasts y'all are going to like or dislike. Like, this episode's kind of a test talking about marketing, you know, and talking about like a new artist that I think you may enjoy listening to during this quarantine still that has not ended. So yeah, definitely try different things is going to be your biggest help, guys. Like, always be pushing, always be doing something, try to be innovative. It's going to help. It's going to get you to where you're trying to get, as well as find your niche. His niche is making songs that work good on TikTok. If you are not in that wheelhouse, that is not what you need to be looking at. If you can make good songs that people are going to want to like jam out to and not just like do a TikTok to, good for you. You can do it. Most likely not. Nowadays, you got to get your song on TikTok or get it on this or that. You know, it's like the way the band is dead, guys. Like, we're moving to solo artists nowadays, and that's just how it is. And it's saddening to me because I grew up in a heavy band era. But at the same time, I seen this coming growing up because there was a lot changing during 2012. Even there was a lot changing. There was a lot of like just big rappers popping up constantly, guys. So it was kind of an inevitability that rock would have to follow suit. And they're like afraid to, which sucks. But there'll be some artists to come out and do it, I'm sure. like 100%. Little Lotus is kind of like doing it, and so is MGK and Mod's son. Which, if you don't know Mod's son, you're missing some really good music, guys. Like Mod's son, I remember, I think it was 2011. I heard Happy as Fuck, and I was like, dude, this is killer. Or no, it was probably 2013 whenever I heard it. Regardless, is a really good song, and I started getting deeper into him. He's really good if you're looking for like self-improvement or finding like a way to market yourself and stuff. Like the dude's really smart at what he does. He also used to drum for Get Scared, so he's the shit to me for that. And those of you who are either too young for Get Scared or never knew who they were like a kind of metalcore, post-hardcore band that had really good songs consistently, like just really good for their time. And now they probably sound dated. I'm sure some of them do, but they were like, if you listen to their first EP, they were ahead of their time, like even on it. So yeah, like look at bands like that and find how to do it yourself nowadays is probably your best way, because like, it's the solo artist game now. Like even Ronnie from Falling in Reverse, he is the only consecutive member of it, and he completely runs the show. Yeah, the other guys show up and play, but do you remember their names unless you're a huge Falling in Reverse fan? No, you don't, but you know who Ronnie is. Same thing with Corpse. You know who he is due to the voice, and that's all he needs is his voice. So yeah, like he's doing amazing on it, and I think you learn a lot from just how his career moves from here. So if you're looking into like marketing and stuff, definitely pay attention to that guy. He's going to help a lot in that. Or you're just looking for some really good music, check him out. Especially if you're a fan of like Young Gravy but more emo, like perfect for you. But yeah, guys. With that being said, there, I kind of want to move on to talking a little bit about another artist that I'm really excited to see what his supergroup does, which is Little Lotus. He has the supergroup If I Die First. Amazing band. They kill it. Like, if you haven't listened to them, I don't know what you're doing if you like Say a Sinner, Under Oath, and shit like that. Jump into them. They got a really good fucking, like, just any song. Like, their new single, What Keeps You Up at Night, like, really amazing song. Like, them guys just like nailed it. They just really killed it with that. And if you're looking to be like a metalcore band nowadays, maybe take some notes from them. Like, that's what I would do. Like, yeah, like maybe all of you individually rap and try to make it that way, and then make a super group, because that seemed to work for them. So yeah, and some of these pauses, I'm drinking water. So if you're hearing like a water bottle sound, that's why. But yeah, guys, like I say, like follow them. They're really good. They're really worth checking out. I can't say a lot on them because it's literal. You have to hear it to really enjoy it. Like they just kind of bring back that early 2000s like post-hardcore sound with their own little twist on it, and it's really killer. So definitely check out If I Die First. Other than them, I can't really think of much else on music or marketing to talk about. So I want to hop over to this next segment that if you like Kenneth Copeland, just stop here, because you're not going to like what I have to say. Before this next segment starts, do not continue if you like Kenneth Copeland. I have a little rant about him, and I'm also going to talk to some of my guests about him that may know him and see what they say. But I want to get this little rant out of the way first, because these next few episodes are going to have a little bit about him in it, and I want to go ahead and get the rant out of the way at the end of this one, where people may not give a shit about it. That way, whenever I talk about it, you see it less bias or whatever, because I am going to be biased towards this guy in a way, because I grew up in a heavy Christian home, and this dude offends me. I'm not considered myself a hardcore Christian or anything. I fall more into like Taoist or Hinduist ordeals, I guess. I don't know. I guess spiritualist is the easiest way to communicate what I am, because I believe every religion has its truth. But again, if you are a devout Kenneth Copland follower, do not listen to this next part. Okay. Now that if the people that are hardcore believers in him have left, okay. If not, you're just going to bear through it and deal with what I say. Okay. So guys, me and my wife were up last night listening to some of his stuff, watching his videos. And through it all, this man, like, I do not care, like, who he was. Because it seems around 2013, he was an okay seeming kind of guy. And I do have a bias towards TV evangelists. I don't like them. I think they're all scummy. I think they're all scammy. But him, I have a huge issue with. This man does not understand, like, protecting the people that work for him. This man only cares about their money, and it is fucked, dude. Like 110%. Like, I cannot take it. Like, he legit is lying to people left and right, saying, "Oh, God's cured the freaking coronavirus, and I blow it away," and all this shit. And it's really fucked up, dude. Like, to be that way towards people, like 110% messed up, because you have people who hardcore believing in what you're preaching, and you are not taking your platform to ensure that they are okay by being like, Lord's doing all he can, but you need to help. You need to be home. Stuff like that. That is what he needs to be saying. I know I'm cursing a lot, but I'm mad, dude. Like, he seems to be the most selfish, greedy dude I've ever seen. Like, I cannot fathom how someone can be that greedy, spend the church's money that's non-taxable, by the way. So he's literally living off these people's money that sends in. Like, it's messed up, guys. Like, 110%, I don't like the guy. Like, I just don't. And other than that, dude just looks possessed all the time. Like, whether you believe in demons or whatever, he's possessed by something. His eyes are like dead. His smile is the most evil thing I've ever seen. And when he stares at you through the fucking TV, it makes chills go down your spine. 110% do not like this guy for what he's doing. Like, he's lying to people. He's telling them, Trump's still our president. Then he laughed about Biden winning. Dude, you're losing your shit. You need to get out of the spotlight, because you lead these people down a path of one damnation with some of the shit you do. Because growing up in a church, I know a lot of the stuff you're doing on that TV is sacrilege. Not just the buying of stuff, and not just like the lifestyle he's living, guys. I'm talking about like some of the prayer stuff he does and stuff is like stuff that, like, in a regular church you are not going to see. Hands down, you are not going to see, because it is considered blasphemy now, because technically the power of the Lord is channeled, like, through you. Thus, you can do all the things supposedly that God can do. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a freaking like hardcore Christian. But this dude he makes me mad, because I guess for my grandfather it was like, he worked his butt off to show like the power of Christ or whatever. He's in a wheelchair. He went and preached every day and all that shit. But like, I don't believe the same way as I did then, or as he believes, or as my mom or my dad believes. And this Kenneth Copeland like gets under my skin with it, dude. Like, on its right, I grew up in a Christian background. It gets under my skin because I find it messed up and like spitting upon like legacy of people who actually gave a shit about saving people and like truly believed that the damnation would end them. And to see this man like flying around his own jet, has like a shit ton of planes, dude. Like, he has to be moving some drugs or some shit. Why else do you have that many fucking planes in your own airport? And like, I'm gonna go ahead and say, I don't care if like this gets taken down or whatever over it or anything. I just felt a need to rant about him because he just straight up like is not cool, guys. Like, I'm telling you now, something's gonna come out about that guy, and you're gonna be like, well, but this ain't a surprise. He's pretty evil looking and does all this evil stuff. And disclaimer here, do not go bully Kenneth Copeland or family. That I feel that's unneeded to put in here, but I'm going to. I feel like the audience that I'm slowly building is smarter than to do that. Like, I may talk trash or whatever on him, but it's me who will get the blame, not you. I would rather you not start anything with him than to start something with him, because he's living his life, yes. But I do have my problems with how he is, because he is like literally just taking money from people. Like, literally only cares about the money. You can tell he only cares about the money. He's weird. He comes off evil and just is not the kind of guy that I think should be allowed to keep his platform. Mainly for the whole thing of like downplaying COVID-19, making people like, I don't know. He just is not okay. I know, like, I was reading something the other day. A lot of people that go to his church services now are slowly catching COVID-19 because, he has them step out of their cars sometimes in the service and shit and all this. And whether that's true or not, I don't know. I have no video evidence of that. Everything else I'm talking about is more like, you can go watch a video of this guy, like, just literally type in his name. Watch a couple videos and you make your own assumptions, guys. Like, I literally, he makes my skin crawl, guys. Like, when he looks at you, you just see the scummy, scammy shit that he is. So yeah, rant over. We're gonna end it there because I really want to talk about this with one of my next guests, particularly Paul. I think he'll have a lot to say on it. But besides that, guys, I don't know. I just had to share it with you guys. I felt a need for it to be looked at. Like, there's other YouTubers, there's other media talking about him, and I feel it just needs more exposure because he's up to something and he don't care about the people that he's supposed to. So yeah, I think that's where this podcast is going to leave off today. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, and that's all, guys. On to the last segment. And hey, guys, thank you for making it to the end of the Rad Trash Fox podcast. Listen, you can support us through Anchor. Please do if you feel it. You don't have to. But you can donate like 99 cents or whatever a month to help us on there. If that seems something you wouldn't want to do, I've been thinking about setting up a Patreon. When I do, I'll let y'all know. Also, beyond that, I really want to thank everyone who listens to this, everyone who gives me the time of day for however many minutes I run. Most of the time I run them just like 15, 20 minutes, sometimes 30. I try not to go over that unless I have a guest. So I do appreciate the people that are enjoying these these minutes kind of podcasts. Yeah, if you want to support us, share, like, subscribe, follow, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, like I say, if you want to support us, please, sharing this with people helps a lot more than anything else. And again, I always appreciate you guys. Stay happy, stay healthy, drink lots of water, and peace out.